Alrighty, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are well. So let's get to it. So we were discussing the VIVA questions for physiology of the reproduction module. Um, so far, I think it's going well. It's an odd set of questions, no doubt about it. But we must work with what we have and make the most of it, I suppose. So let's try to finish this document in the next couple of hours or so. Um, I'll be pretty happy if we manage to finish this by 11, right? So that I can move on to other things, I suppose. Okay, um, let's get to it. Let me just, yeah. Okay, so we've done a couple of questions so far, and let's move on. So the next question is, what is the function of the epididymis? Now, epididymis, as I mentioned, is like a school for my guys, for my sperm cells, right? For your sperm cells, if you're a male. But anyhow, for any person who makes sperm, they need to get, educated, right? So this is the school. This is the place where they get matured, and of course, this is the place where they get stored as well. So let's discuss all of those pointers in a tad bit of detail, not much, but enough so that you can get like a good idea of what to talk about when the opportunity presents itself. Okay, so what is the function of the epididymis? I want to add that image. Let's see if I can find it. Maybe it was in histology, maybe anatomy. Oh, yeah, there we go. Such a lovely image. Smash that in there. Okay, I've got a message that I need to take care of. Is it not the correct answer? Hmm. Okay, please. Looks like no answer was selected. Understood. Fine. My bad. Can you please report this question? Fix it right away. Okay. There's a bit of a um, you know, problem, I suppose, कि like answer select ही नहीं हुआ the data entry team की जानब से, which is quite sad. Um, but it's okay. It is okay. No worries at all. Um, righty. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. So I was mentioning the function is basically it helps in it helps it is it helps in the maturation of the sperm. Uh, it store the sperm until ejaculation, and it also helps in transporting it from the testis to the vas deferens. Awesome. Good, 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 good. So maturation, storage, transport, that's like the main goal because, you know, that's it. So, what is the normal count of sperm? That's a good question. Um, well, you can't do 1, 2, 3, 4 on those. It's around 120 millions per milliliter, right? That's crazy. I'm sure there's like a range. Let me see. What's the normal count? I'm sure there's like a range, right? Um, let's see. So according to Google, the range is about 15 to 200 million. Wow. So 20 million to 200 million sperm per milliliter. Sperm per milliliter of semen. Okay, pretty much, right? So any count above 20 million is normal. Any count below is sad. Um, yeah. Function of the seminal vesicle. So, uh, like seminal vesicles का काम होता है basically like they are the parents, right? They provide everything, the son would need to grow, right? एक तो होता है स्कूल और एक होता है घर. तो घर के अंदर आपको खाना मिलता है, आपको सब मिलता है that you can survive, right? And that's what it does. That was the seminal vesicle does. It basically is like the main, you could say, foundation for what semen is, right? So it forms, um, it it secretes a viscous alkaline fluid which forms about 60 to 70% of the semen volume. It provides glucose for storing energy. Um, you know, there's just so much that it do. There's so much that it does. It also contains prostaglandins that aid sperm transport. The alkaline medium helps neutralize the alkaline nature helps neutralize the acidic environment of the female environment of the female genital tract. Awesome, right? Fair enough. Very simple stuff. Next up is what is the function of the prostate gland? Um, yeah, prostate gland का फिर वही है ना कि like it secretes the prostate specific antigen. Prostate specific antigen का क्या फायदा होता है? फायदा ये होता है कि यार देखो, it can basically help activate the motility of the sperm, right? And helps with the movement. So yeah, um, so the it secretes a thin, milky, slightly alkaline. Milkly लिख दिया मैंने. Milky, slightly alkaline fluid that activates sperm motility, contains enzymes like prostate specific antigen, which help liquefy the semen after ejaculate. Okay, I think that's a good enough answer, right? Um, yeah, that's good enough. So that's the function of the prostate. What is the composition of semen? Now that's a very specific answer. Let's take care of that too. So जहाँ तक सीमेन की बात होती है उसके अंदर हर लाइक बेसिकली क्या है कि देखो स्पर्म सेल्स अलग हैं उसके अंदर, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ एक्सेसरी ग्लैंड्स की जो भी सिक्रीशंस है ना, वो भी बहुत एक समझो ग्रेट डिग्री, लाइक it contributes like to a greater degree, right? So if you were to ask what semen is, it is a compound. It's not a singular thing. It is a compound. So semen itself is composed of spermatozoa, spermatozoa, and and secretions from the accessory glands. It consists of spermatozoa, seminal vesicle, fluid, prostatic fluid, and bulbourethral gland secretions. Right? Like that is the main thing. Um, yeah. So अगर हम लिखें तो जो spermatozoa है, that's like less than 10%, which is crazy, right? Like if you think about it, that fluid that you know that is there after ejaculation is like only 10% of that is sperm. The rest is all various forms of fluids and secretions. Seminal vesicle fluid, as I mentioned, is 60 to 70%, right? And then the prostatic fluid is 20 to 30%, another big man contributor, and bulbary gland ejaculation, that those are in traces, right? उसके अलावा यार देखो यही है ना सीन के यू नो फ्रुक्टोज है, प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन्स हैं, वो एंजाइम्स हैं, प्रोसेस स्पेसिफिक एंटीजन है, अल्कलाइन पीएच है, राइट? इसका जो पीएच है दैट्स लाइक 7.5 ish. It's slightly alkaline. um so yeah, semen itself is slightly alkaline in nature. We could say pH is 7.5, right? Fair enough. I think an approximate should be better. Now I don't know where the approximate is equal to is. Hmm. Lol, I don't know. Yeah. चलो यही कर लेते हैं, no idea. Anyhow, um, yeah. Okay, what is capacitation? How many questions are left? Quite a bunch. Oh my word. Okay. What is capacitation? Capacitation, I think that's like the preparation of the sperm, right? Like it's the process by which, you know, your sperm is capable of actually fertilizing the ovum, right? Because if it's not, like, what's the point of reaching the female genital tract, right? If you're not capable of fertilizing. So it is the process through which the sperm becomes capable of fertilizing the ovum after it has entered the female reproductive tract. तो इसके अंदर क्या होता है कि यार uh, the sperm undergoes functional and membrane changes and acquire its ability to undergo the macrosomal reaction. Isn't that cool? This is very, very cool stuff, right? Very, very cool stuff. So, yeah, awesome, incredible. Okay, why does only one sperm enter the oocyte? Now, that's a very simple question, right? Because once it once the sperm penetrates, right? There's nothing else you can do, right? So the best answer is to prevent the polyspermy, right? Um, right? That's like the main thing. So this process prevents polyspermy by maintaining uh, the normal diploid chromosome number. This prevention is achieved by the zona reaction and cortical reaction. So what happens is कि जब क्या होता है कि जो ऊसर की membrane है, it closes, right? So zona pellucida is hardened after the cortical reaction, which prevents the entry of additional sperm. Awesome. Amazing. Um, all right. Why are the testes located outside the internal environment of the body into the scrotum? I think we है ना temperature maintain करना temperature. So let's just change up the question, right? This question is a bit odd. Why are the testes located in the scrotum outside the abdominal cavity? That should be the question. Anyhow, तो क्या सीन है कि uh, to maintain a temperature lower than the core body temperature, which is essential for normal spermatogenesis, right? Yeah. So testicular temperature is about 2 to 3 degrees Celsius lower than the body temperature. Awesome. All right. Fair enough. Name the androgens produced by the male individual. वही टेस्टोस्टेरोन यार और क्या और तो कुछ नहीं है भाई I don't know any other right testosterone है dihydrotestosterone and endosteno enrostenida enros I have no idea how to pronounce that word but anyhow um yeah what is the most abundant androgen it's testosterone bro what is the active form of testosterone interesting question right um dihydrotestosterone dihydrotestosterone DHT from which organs androgens are produced so the testes primarily and the adrenal glands small amounts from the ovaries now yeah it's an interesting statement तो लाइक बनते कहाँ से हैं राइट लाइक अगर सोचो तो कहाँ से बनते हैं राइट सो ज़्यादातर तो टेस्टिस से बनते हैं और एड्रीनल ग्लैंड से बनते हैं राइट सो टेस्टिस इज प्राइमरली राइट द टेस्टिस इज द प्रिंसिपल सोर्स and then yeah and then the adrenal glands and then adrenal cortex to be specific all right awesome so इसके अंदर zona reticularis कह देते हैं as a function of the sertoli cells I think we already know that these are the nurse cells right so they help with nourishment of the sperm they help from the blood testis barrier pretty cool stuff right so they are supporting cells they are supporting cells that help nourish the developing sperm cells right yeah that is good enough um, they secrete the androgen binding uh, androgen binding protein ABP to maintain high testosterone levels. They secrete inhibin, which regulates FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, FSH, and they also secrete anti-Mullerian during fetal life. Awesome. Good stuff. What are what are what is the site of secretion of estrogen in men? That's a good question. What is the SRY? I think I've answered that question. I think I have answered that question if I'm not wrong. But so what is the site of estrogen secretion? Estrogen secretion in males, right? Um, I wouldn't know, mate. I wouldn't know. In the testis, right? In the testis. Um, yeah, by the Sertoli cells. Yeah, these cells, exactly. Yeah, these cells do it. Don't this? Fair enough. Yeah, that's it. Additionally, in the liver and the adrenal cortex. What is the SRY gene? Well, we all know what it is, right? We all know what it is. The SRY gene is basically the male determining gene, right? So it's on the it's on the Y chromosome. So it is located. It is a gene. It is located on the short arm of the Y chromosome, and it triggers. It initiates male sex determination. Awesome, cool stuff. Okay, what are the functions of testosterone? Well, there are too many to count, aren't they not? You know, it does so much, does so much, like crazy. How much it does. Wow, that's a lot in it. It does a lot, doesn't it? Crazy. Yeah. So pretty cool stuff, I must say. I must say. So yeah, it does a lot. It does a lot. Um. Okay, that is the male part done. We just need to add, a truckload of images because, yeah, this is very barren, as they say. Quite barren, actually. Like, I'm surprised how barren it is. Crazy how barren it is. Um, let's see what images I can add here. What the hell happened there? I'm not sure it can be done because these questions are rough. These are very rough questions. Not fun at all. I thought, I mean, ideally, the physiology of the productive system should be the most fun thing you ever study, but what the hell is this? These questions are not fun at all. What's the point? What's the point? Like, the anatomy is so fun, the physiology is so fun, the biology is so fun. Where is this, mate? So I am studying bullshit. Literal crap. That's what I'm studying. Like, what is this? Why would I care? Right? This should be this content can be tested in much better ways than doing a shite wire on it, right? Clearly, they don't know what they're talking about, mate. Okay, I'm rambling. I don't know what's happened to my voice. Female, female reproductive system, reproduction system. It's reproductive, mate. Anyhow, anywho, anywho, anywho. Okay. Oh wow, 28 more questions. Should we add images or should we keep that for the end? That's a good question. I must say that is a very, very, very good question, Laze. Um, yeah, and not me. Not me, not me, not me, not me. Okay, okay, okay. What do we do? Oh, I did not check up on Liverpool. Let's see what Liverpool 2-0. Did Salah score? Oh man, why isn't Salah scoring? Mo Salah running down the wing. Salah, la, 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 running down the wing. Do, 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 do. Running down the wing. Salah, la, 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 la. Oh wow. This was his final game and I missed it. Hmm. I'm sad. Very sad. I mean, I had the opportunity to watch the second half, but I did not watch it. And that makes me quite sad. He did assist, which is nice, but yeah, man. I'm sorry for him. Oh, he does not deserve to get treated that way. Anywho, anyhow, I think let's finish this section and then let's add the images for like the entirety, right? So, what are the phases of the menstrual cycle? Okay, bro. Interesting question. Mm, actually, most of these questions are, of course, just about the menstrual cycle. Again, like, what's the point? Better teach it properly, right? लेकिन वो सही तरह पढ़ाते ही नहीं है like क्या करें? Yeah, Luminac. Luminac. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Uh, uh, La 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 la. It feels like I'm falling in. Oh my, don't tell me I disconnected from the stream. Oh no. Okay, I'm okay. I thought I got disconnected, but I did not. That's good. Hmm. All right. Okay. Okay, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So there are 4 phases, right? So 4 phases. Numero uno, menstrual phase. Dos, proliferative phase or follicular phase. Tres, ovulatory phase. Cuatro, secretory bracket luteal phase. Cool, right? Um, yeah, very good stuff. So, what is the function of the follicle stimulating hormone? Right. Sorry. Burp there. Yeah, they go. What is the function of SH? It stimulates the growth and maturation of the ovarian follicle and promotes estrogen production. Fair enough. Which cells produce, yeah, which ovarian, I think I should read him these questions. Which ovarian cells secrete estrogen? Granulosa cells of the ovarian follicle. Simple as that. There's like, some questions have to be good, have to be simple, right? Good stuff. Which cell possesses receptors for FSH? Of course, granulosa cells of the ovary. They convert androgens into estrogen using the enzyme aromatase. Man, I need to do biochem as well. Bloody hell, I haven't done biochem at all. That's crazy, man. Wait, ouch. Ouchies. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Alrighty. I don't know what I did, but I did it. Um, what is the function of estrogen? Very dumb question, bro. What the hell do you mean? Like, यार देखो ये क्वेश्चन मजा नहीं आता नहीं ये क्वेश्चन सुन के ही मजा नहीं आ रहा like क्या come on bro surely there's a better way you can answer this question right there's so much estrogen does right uh like endometrium की coefficient बढ़ाएगा blood supply बढ़ाएगा man or too much pull estrogen is like spraying oh man causes endometrial proliferation and prepares for ovulation. Okay. Um, it exerts negative feedback on FSH. Initially, and when at high levels, prepares for LH. Amazing, right? Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Why only one follicle matures every month? Whoa. Because, yeah, you know, all of those reasons, right? Estrogen जब भरेगा तो FSH की नेगेटिव फीडबैक होगी, right? बाकी फॉलिकल्स की ग्रोथ रुक जाएगी. फॉलिकल स्टिमुलेटिंग हार्मोन ही जब नहीं चल रहा तो फॉलिकल बनेगा कैसे, right? So yeah, it's a winner takes it all, right? Winner takes all race. Many follicles start the race. One becomes dominant, pushes the others out. Simple enough, right? Like that's what it is. That's what it is. Um, so because estrogen and inhibin suppress FSH, allowing only one dominant follicle to mature. As simple as that. What is the LH surge? What? Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean by LH surge? So LH surge की जो कहानी है, it is the sudden rise in luteinizing hormone levels, luteinizing or luteinizing hormone that occurs mid-cycle due to positive feedback of high estrogen. It helps trigger ovulation. Awesome, awesome. ठीक हो गया जी. अब क्या करें? Right? Um. Okay. ठीक है. Fair enough. All of this is basically the action of estrogen. What is corpus luteum? Which phase of uterine cycle corresponds with luteal phase of ovarian cycle? Which phase of uterine cycle corresponds with follicular phase of ovarian cycle? Estrogen and progesterone effects on which phase of uterine cycle? What is the fate of corpus luteum? What are the sites of estrogen progesterone secretion in females? Name the three types of estrogen in females. What are the functions of estrogen? Did we just do this? Yeah, right. Let's do this. Oh, wow. I'm kidding. Hmm? Surely we did this, no? फिर किसने function किए? Oh, अच्छा. FSH. Crazy dog. Yeah, it's just no fun. It is simply not fun at all, right? So I'm gonna, yeah, I'll cut this one there. What is what is the uh corpus luteum and its fate? Yeah, it should be a double question, right? So it's not, yeah, no problems with that and stuff. Anyhow, let's get to it. So जो corpus luteum की जो कहानी है, that's actually pretty cool stuff. So जब आपके ovulation हो जाती, जो बाकी आपके cells हैं granulosa के or other cells, they end up, you know, just getting filled up with fat, right? And that basically again prepares it to secrete progesterone, which is really cool, really, really cool. So it is a yellowish temporary endocrine structure formed from the ruptured ovarian follicle after ovulation. If fertilization, I think yeah, the part quite like yeah, said that if fertilization occurs, corpus luteum is maintained. If it's not, well, goodbye, mate. It degenerates. Very simply put, right? That's what happens. That's the fate. So yeah, तो ये बहुत ही आला चीज़ है, right? It helps produce progesterone. Pretty cool stuff. Um, yeah, यही होता है ना, like basically um, जो cells हैं उनके अंदर फैट भर जाता है, तो they do what they do. तो इसका यहाँ मैं फुल फॉर्म में लिख देता हूँ, ह्यूमन कोरियोनिक गोनाडोट्रोपिन सेट। अच्छा, what the yeah, अच्छा क्वेश्चन थोड़ा सा रिफ्रेश कर लेते हैं। Which phase of uterine cycle hormone? Luteal phase of ovarian cycle. So इसके अंदर है the luteal luteal phase, right? Luteal phase. So this is the secretory phase. Set. So luteal means a lush uterus, and progesterone makes the uterus secretory, makes the uterus secretory and ready. Okay, next question. Which phase of the uterine cycle corresponds with the follicular phase? ठीक है, सही है। Which phase corresponds with the follicular phase, right? तो इसके अंदर आपकी जो proliferative phase है वो होती है the proliferative phase। ठीक है, इसको कैपिटलाइज कर देते हैं और कह देते हैं कि follicle मतलब proliferation, right? जब follicle होगा तभी proliferation होगी ना, right? I hope that makes sense. Um, estrogen and progesterone affects which phase of the uterine cycle, right? Affect, तो इसके अंदर आपका वो आ जाएगा, right? Estrogen is mainly on the proliferative phase, while the progesterone is the secretory phase. Awesome. Next question is, what are the sites of estrogen and progesterone secretion in female? Um, तो वही ovaries यार, ovaries हो गया, placenta हो गया. Name three types of estrogen. वही estradiol, estrone, estriol, all of those things. No problem at all. No problem at all. Alrighty. So, what are the sites of estrogen and progesterone secretion? तो इसके अंदर यार primarily the ovaries, uh, the placenta during pregnancy, small amounts of the adrenal cortex. Right? Name the three types of estrogen in females. Or yeah, so those are estradiol, estrone, estriol. Right? Fair enough. Right? And estradiol is most potent. Estrone is postmenopausal, and estriol is pregnancy. Awesome. What are the functions of progesterone? Yeah, progesterone, estrogen बोला, oh my God. Um, yeah, again, too many to count, right? There are just too many to count. Um, like if I start listing them now, mate, just look at that. Awesome, right? And yeah, what are the actions of progesterone? Again, similar thing, right? There's just so many functions to count. It is awesome what it does. These are awesome hormones. Okay. Converts fertile endometrium into secretory endometrium, maintains pregnancy, decreases uterine contractility, thickens cervical mucus, promotes alveolar development of the breast, and raises basal body temperature. Awesome. सही हो गया, सही हो गया. अच्छा, अब अगला है what are and ovulatory cycles, what is menarche, what is menopause, what is amenorrhea, what is dysmenorrhea, and then of course we have remaining few questions on that kind of stuff. So say, let's have a look. Let's get it. Let's do it. So in an ovulatory cycle वो होता है कि जहाँ पे ovulation नहीं होती, right? और क्यों नहीं होगी? Obviously क्योंकि अगर for example progesterone ही secrete हो रहा, right? कोई corpus luteum नहीं form हुआ. बहुत से reasons हैं. Um, so what happens is that there's no ovulation, there's no egg, right? Um, it is a menstrual cycle in which ovulation does not occur, does not occur, right? As a result, uh, no corpus luteum is formed, progesterone is absent, bleeding leads to bleeding due to estrogen. Seta, what is menarche? Menarche is basically the first menstrual bleeding. It is the first menstrual bleeding in a female, marking the onset of reproduction. Okay. What do you understand by menopause? Menopause is the permanent, like exit, right? So it is the permanent stoppage of menstruation due to the loss of ovarian follicular activity. Man, I hate these questions. What the hell are these questions, man? Amenorrhea, absence of menstruation, right? Um, it is the absence of menstruation. I have no, like, yeah, what the hell, bro? Acha, dysmenorrhea is painful menstruation, right? Very painful. It is painful menstruation, usually usually associated with uterine consequences. It is it refers to what are the functions of the placenta? Placenta, yaar, देखो, it it is basically the home for the fetus, right? So nutrition होगी, respiratory, endocrine, excretory, all of those functions are really important. Placenta से HCG release होता है. HCG release होगा तो estrogen release होगा. Estrogen release होगा तो progesterone release होगा. So much stuff. So much stuff. It's awesome. It's incredible. Um, ठीक हो गया. Set हो गया. Set हो गया यार. Set. What are the functions of placenta? Let's get to it. Let's discuss. Bro, what are these questions? I'm not enjoying them, bro. I'm not enjoying them. Acha. ठीक है. This is an incredible answer. I don't think I want to make any changes to that, like at all. Perfect answer. Like, why would I even think about changing it, right? What are the stages of labor? लेबर की स्टेजेस यार देखो बहुत सी स्टेजेस होती हैं पहली स्टेज cervical dilation फिर expulsion and then delivery right open the door baby comes placenta follows incredible right incredible stuff pretty cool I must say oh what happened there awesome okay what are the functions of prolactin now prolactin yaar prolactin is a very simple hormone it stimulates milk production in the mammary glands after childbirth awesome right अच्छा अगला सवाल ये है कि यार why does yeah this bloody hell why does lactation suppress ovarian cycles that's a very good question so yeah it's like during your lactation क्या होता है कि uh, इतना याद रख लो कि prolactin levels lactation prolactin levels are high which suppresses the GnRH secretion which subsequently decreases the secretion of FSH and LH, which of course prevents ovulation. Incredible. What a feedback mechanism. What a lovely feedback mechanism. Nature's birth control. Incredible, incredible, incredible. Subhanallah. All right, what is eclampsia? What is eclampsia? Fair enough. That's a very, very sad, you know, like thing. कि like ये होता है. But मुझे क्यों लग रहा है कि ये जो उन्होंने सवाल बनाए हैं these are so like so odd. Don't get it. What in the world is that, mate? What are we doing here? Why? Why are we doing this? Hello, mate. What's up? Huh? Ho? He? I'm joking. I'm joking. अच्छा कहाँ थे हम? Where were we? Hello. Yeah. What is a clamshell? Very sad. Severe complication. Pregnancy, right? Very, very sad, you know. Occurrence of seizures in the woman with preeclampsia. So, quite sad, yeah. Um, hmm, associated with hypertension, proteinuria, edema. Acha ji. What is puberty? What? Yeah, it is period of life. The period of life during which an individual attains sexual maturity and becomes capable of reproduction. Incredible, right? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Um, yeah, GNRH increases, FSH increases. Um, the story begins. Yeah, incredible. What is precocious puberty to early puberty, right? Uh, early onset of puberty at an abnormally early age, before 8 years in girls and before 9 years in boys. Yeah. So, yeah, incredible. This is awesome. So we're done. Wow, we're done. Like, as simple as that. As simple as that. Now comes the tough part. This is just the start. So after doing all of this, next step is to, scourge the book, scourge the sources, see कि like ये तो बस एक basic content है, right? Like इससे क्या questions बन सकते हैं? These are just, you know, why are these questions so bad? Like these are incredibly, like I wouldn't like studying this. Like this module was fantastic, but the physiology, huge letdown, huge letdown. Can't believe it. Like, I'm so sad, mate. Could have made it so much more fun, exciting, enjoyable. What they missed up? Hey, I'm walking in. Sidewalk. Oh man. Maybe like the idea behind it was that कि चलो थोड़ा simple बना देते हैं आखिरी module. I completely understand that. I'm scared, man. There's just so much content and so little time to do all of it. And yeah, that's why I made Modify help to help. Oh my. Oh my. Whoa, hello there. Do, 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 do. Last day back in my heart. All right, let's do it. Yeah, I mean, nobody's watching, right? Wink, wink. Let's do it. So let us sing a song. So let's begin. Okay. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I gave it to someone special. Dun, 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 Okay, alrighty, that's it. I just need to add some images. Yeah, and we'll be good. We'll be we'll be done. I think I already have one for like the spermatogenesis part. Might as well plop it here. Let's start the chain. Whoa, whoa. Okay, here we go. Let's crop my guy so that they can fit it. Last day breaking my heart. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, and the very next day you gave it away. Do 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 do. Last Christmas, gave you my heart. Why is it moving the damn? Whoa! Ay, 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 my God! Yeah, there we go. Last Christmas, gave you my heart, and the very next day, you gave it away. I said to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. I can see like there's, a bit of a problem, right? Hmm. Hmm. Interesting, interesting. Cheek. Okay. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. अच्छा जी अब इमेजेस ऐड करनी है हाँ ओके कर लेते हैं कोई मसला नहीं कोई मसला नहीं okay I'll add images right I'll add images and that would be it तो जैसे ये ओवेरियन साइकिल वाली हैं प्रेगनेंसी की हैं डाल दूंगा सेट ये हो जाएगा फिर ये डॉक्यूमेंट भेज दूंगा सेट ऑलराइटी दैट्स इट बिकॉज लाइक आई डोंट नो बिकॉज लाइक देखो यही है सवाल इससे आगे इससे पीछे इससे दाएं बाएं कोई सवाल नहीं है दिस इज इट these are all the questions they ask which is quite sad I mean like why but चलो खैर it's good right good for anyone trying to do well inshallah they'll do incredibly well I'm hoping that people use this document and they make the most of this let me see मैंने जॉन सीना वाली image डाली है नहीं डाली don't tell me नहीं डाली oh man okay let's add it अच्छा जी इधर इधर डालते हैं dedicated to hustle loyalty and respect mate hustle loyalty and respect that's what it's about that is literally all that it's about okay awesome डल गई Set हो गया with that note with that lovely note I bid you farewell we're done with physiology and the next step of course is pathology which I'm quite scared because I haven't studied it so I'll study it and then go to sleep right okay take care goodbye Allah Hafiz and yeah everything will be okay